is you interlock the two.
Now stretch them right as...
Soccer and the...
Quiet, please. In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air.
I felt like a reptile. Like a reptile. I felt like a reptile.
Are we recording? Yeah. We are recording.
Did you see that?
It worked the second time around.
Yeah.
So all right.
Did you see that those people actually named their kid Hitler and someone took them to court and they had to change it?
Why would you do that?
They wanted to make him rock hard and a bit psycho.
That's not. Yeah, but he was neither of those things.
No,
he was a psycho, but he was a narcissist. Don't start me talking about World War II again.
No, sorry.
I've just started watching it.
It's wicked, isn't it?
You're on
It's
it.
wicked, isn't it?
So
You're
good.
on it.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Just started watching it. My granddad was in that battle.
Is that right?
The Battle of Britain in the skies. Yeah, he flew with the Spitfires in that battle.
Dude, I need to show you a photograph of my great granddad then, because I have a photo of him. I've been chatting to my grandma about him.
You trying to one up my granddad?
I'm about to say,
No, not at all.
We're having a granddad.
No,
off,
not at all. Not at all.
What's your granddad done?
I don't know
He's tough
anything
as fuck.
about him really. I just know that he was a bomber pilot. But
Nice.
So tell me about your granddad.
Yeah, he flew Spitfires in that war and survived.
You should get a Spitfire tattoo. I'm gonna get a Spitfire tattoo.
My dad has a really cool picture of a Spitfire, and my granddad sort of sat on the wing.
Boom.
While it's flying.
No, he wasn't.
Imagine.
He wasn't a stunt pilot.
Yeah, he would be a badass.
It was definitely on the floor.
You might have just upped Dan's granddad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what did your granddad do? Did he do that?
Wing walked on a Spitfire.
Yeah. He didn't talk about it that much really when he was alive. He's passed on now because he made 93 or 94 or something like that. He did a decent innings, but he didn't talk about it very much. But pretty cool when you actually think of the reality of what he was doing. He was doing that at younger than us.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And he was actually up there.
A lot of people are younger than us now.
Yeah, for real. I mean, even when we watched Terry at the weekend, it came up and he said he was 33. And I was like, fuck off, Terry ain't 33.
Yeah. I think we need to see his passport. I'm not sure that's true.
Especially, what did you say? His paper round he got shot at.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I mean,
in Afghanistan.
Some of the stories that we've heard from the Raptors filming with him, he's pretty much Rambo. I mean, he's pretty much like standing up with a machine gun, just and it was obviously in slow motion.
My shoulder.
I shot a 50 cal.
Yeah, but he did say he found holes in something,
Nuts.
and it was his drink. Is it water canister? It's always the water canisters that get shot.
Imagine.
You notice that?
Getting back to camp and being like, I nearly died. Funny story.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Mate.
The next one up from the water canister getting shot is
a Bible,
you
right?
actually getting shot and something stopping it, like a whiskey canister.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I mean.
We had a
flask.
We had a vicar that used to come in our school, and he was getting a bit senile by the end, and he used to tell us this story about
By the end, he was a vicar.
By the end of him being alive, because he was old as shit, and he used to come in and he'd tell us this story every other week, and he was a bit of a fixture of the village, so like no one ever could tell him to shut the fuck up. And he used to pull this Bible out, and like it was just getting more and more worn out from the fact he was taking it in and out of his pocket after this story. Like a load of 7-year-olds just not impressed anymore. So you got shot, and the Bible saved it.
Again,
fair enough.
yeah, we've heard this one.
We get it.
So he always keeps it in his inside pocket in case anyone shoots him again.
Yeah, crazy.
So you just start watching the World War.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you're not on the Spitfire one yet. You'll be in tears. I was just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm an
amazing.
easy crier too.
Oh yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
Is it since you've had kids?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the side effects of jet lag for me. Is feeling emotional.
It's a bit of a
random
bit of
outburst of tears.
Yeah. Someone told me, they said when you have kids, you can't read a newspaper anymore. You can't watch the news anymore. Anything to do with kids, and you just literally. We were watching. I think we were watching Lady and the Tramp, the new version, and I'm sat watching it like. Why are they being so nasty to him? He's just had a rough time. Like he was someone's boy, and now he's not anyone's boy.
No, I was saying with the Raptors before. I can't watch the kids being kidnapped and things like that.
Oh,
There's no way. Straight off, turn that off. I can't watch that.
Mate.
Yeah,
it's too real.
Have you seen that Ashton Kutcher went from being an actor and doing Punk'd, and then now he basically assists like an online force that are going after paedophiles in America?
something Hunter.
Is that what
You
he
like
does?
Stinton Hunter?
Yeah,
yeah. But
something
Stinton
like that,
Hunter's
yeah.
the one in the UK where they basically, you see a video of some dude just with a torch in his face, like some proper fucking botherer, just some weird oiky twat, and they're holding him going, "Have you been messaging me?" It's like, "No." Yeah, you messaged. It was me. I was a
talking about the royal
13-year-old
family
girl.
again?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
right,
surprised.
got you.
Fucking hell.
That went well.
Yeah, hot water.
Great idea, yeah.
Prince Andrew just got the TV career for you. Oh yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what you think.
pedo sympathiser. No,
Me.
never mind. Make sure you curtsy.
So, what are we? First of all, shout out to Paddy. Thanks for sending me the book, man. I am going to get into this ASAP. Yeah, interesting. I remember him being bumped up to the main event in Dublin,
Yeah.
and I think he opened the card as well when McGregor fought Brandao.
Yeah.
That was the loudest event I've ever been to. That was insane, and I think he was the first one to go out there in the night, so he kind of set the tone for all of it. So
I like him. I
Yeah.
like how he fights.
yeah, he's
Badass.
good. He's getting into politics now as well, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
You wouldn't fucking mess with him, would you?
No.
Nah.
You know when you read it, can you read it out loud and record it so I can listen to it? Because I don't like reading. I want to know what happens, but I'm not a big
If there's an
reader.
audio book with him recording, with his voice recording it, I'm
dude.
definitely listening to that.
Yeah, for real.
Because it was like we did a day of filming with what was it before McGregor fought? Was it Mayweather? It might have been. Anyway, we were over there and we went to Crumlin Boxing Club and checked out a few places. And it was Paddy and I, and we were at his gym to start with. And he's got a cool setup, really really cool. He's got a painting on the wall, one of his students did, and it's it's basically the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon logo.
Oh shit.
But white comes into one side, and then all the belts of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu come out the other.
Ooh, nice.
It's brilliant. It's nice. It's painted on the wall of his gym. Yeah, but he's a fascinating dude. We had a lot of fun talking that day. I'm gonna get into that. Thank you for Paddy. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't want
So
one.
no fights. There's no fights aside from the ones that Cage Warriors and the Bellator. There's no UFC fights that's happened or happened.
We haven't had anything happen, and the next thing to happen is Overeem versus Rosenstruik, which is not until the 7th
Yeah.
December.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Lol.
It's like no man's land.
Lulling
It
events.
just feels naked.
It's weird.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had two this weekend. We had Cage Warriors and
Bellator.
Bellator.
Yeah. Boring motherfucker. Which is all I took away from this weekend.
Terry's a legend. He's brilliant. He's hilarious.
He's
How'd
a
you
very,
steal the
very
show?
funny human.
He got into a bit of a tussle for 15 minutes and then stole the show by literally swearing at him on the mic and then just taking in the crowd.
The thing is, like, in no defense for Terry at all. Like, he should have been better in a lot of ranges. Like, his takedown defense could have been better. I know his takedown defense is better. I've seen it better. So I don't know. I don't know whether he didn't feel like himself. I don't know what was going on. But he just seemed to be overthinking everything and freezing up. And Soren didn't do anything that surprised me. He did everything that we expected him to do. He did some things slightly better, but there was nothing new, nothing surprising about his game.
He didn't inflict any damage, did he? He didn't offer any offence.
I mean, he won the first and second round. He won the first round because the more than half of the round he'd taken Terry down and was in mount. Terry landed a good right hand, so he was. I would say he won the first half of the first round, but then Soren took over. So I scored the first round for Soren. Then the second round, like, I don't know, he was just on Terry immediately.
Yeah.
It's like he'd figured out how to beat him, and he just wanted to stick to that game plan. Kept chasing that arm triangle, so he won the second round, and then in the third round, that was what was frustrating for me. And I get why Soren did it. It makes perfect sense, because if you're up 2 rounds, then and you're fighting
Finish
someone
off.
like Terry, then
Don't take the risk.
don't
You
take
didn't
the risk. Yeah, but I was never that kind of fighter, and I don't like watching those kind of fighters and being in the corner.
Yeah, but
It's very frustrating.
where's Terry's head at now? I mean, you've been there. Like when you fought GSP, you came out of 5 rounds with no damage. It wasn't like you'd had a fight.
And no, I didn't feel like I had a fight.
You had a bit of a competition where you were dominated on the ground, but it wasn't the same as like being smashed up. So where's Terry now? If he's come out of that, essentially, he looked good beforehand. We saw him on the documentary.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen him. He always seems ready.
He'll just be frustrated. He'll just want to fight again. That's where he'll be at.
I think it's difficult in those situations that you feel like you've been laid and preyed on a little bit, but really you gotta turn inside and work out what you need to do better.
Yeah.
And it's hard to mount an argument when you're flat on your back for most of the fight. Do you know what I mean? And I get it, and I get we you know, we've had the argument or discussion about what it is to be dominant in those positions, but if you're flat on your back for all that time, it's hard to mount an argument that you should have won that fight.
For sure.
That's sort of reality of it. And hopefully he goes back and looks at what he could have done better, rather than sort of in my opinion, the easy out is to blame the opponent for lying on him. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt.
More mirrors, less windows.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and this is something that people have got to realise. I saw a couple of tweets come through about being in his corner and stuff, and like I had a conversation with the referee. Well, I tried to have a conversation during the third round in which he wasn't listening at all. And then I had a conversation with him afterwards as well, because I wanted to understand where his mindset was in that third round for not standing them up.
Yeah.
Because I understand what Soren was doing. For me, then it's the onus is on the referee to then keep the fight moving. And like we've watched it back today, and from 2:48 on the clock of the third round, Soren was down with the legs bound and was just holding on to Terry.
That's the best argument. The best argument for that fight is the ref probably should have restarted it and stood him up.
I mean, it might not have made a difference. And that's the thing. That's where the onus falls on Terry. Is if the referee had stood him back up, the likelihood is Soren would have just taken him back down the same way again. Because Terry's defense.
I was surprised at Terry's takedown D. I thought it was better.
Yeah,
than that.
I don't know.
I've seen it better than that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I need to speak to him. I need to figure out what he was feeling, because he was. I mean, he looked good warming up. He looked comfortable. I don't know what happened.
When we were in Vegas and we went out to Extreme Couture for the day, Terry was dominating.
Yeah.
He was, not to use his nickname in context, because that's just a hot topic, but
good segue to it.
Yeah, for real. But he was keeping up with everyone and just looking. And the thing is, we knew that he'd been out the night before, and he was absolutely fucking.
Maybe that's his blueprint.
Yeah,
too sober this fight. That's the problem.
Fucking zooted, because the night before he was on it, and then we picked him up to take him down. He's like, "Oh, boys, fucking hell!" And then we pulled up, and he just put his gloves on and just started beating people up.
Yeah,
and
but that's the thing. I think that was part of the problem in going into this fight, is that he had too much to think about. He had too much to think about. Like he just needs to go out there and be Terry Brazier. I was talking to Eddie and Eric about this after the fight. Like Terry's one of those kind of fighters that you need to embrace who he is and what he does. Like he's a meat grinder. He just puts people in horrible positions and beats them up. You just need to
do you better than they can do them.
Just improve where we can on all of those bits. You know what I mean? Like shave the rough edges off where it might get caught in a triangle, or where his takedown might get stuffed or whatever, and just make him that monstrous. I mean, he hit him with a beautiful right hand. Yeah, I'm
surprised he didn't really follow that up.
Yeah,
he sort
and
of gave him
Soren's
a bit
been
of
knocked
space,
out
didn't he?
with that before. The thing that frustrates me more is that I know Terry can be better than that, and I know that. I know his takedown offense is better than that. I know his striking's improved. The thing that annoys me is that that's the standard of MMA in Europe right now. Like Soren said in his post-fight interview that he's the best grappler in Europe, best MMA. He's not even very good.
But even if that was grappling, there wasn't any offence from the grappling.
No,
it wasn't like ground and pound. It was just ground
and hold.
His strike is so bad.
This means no disrespect at all to the sort of roster of people that are around in the UK at the minute, but do you feel like, I feel like the talent should have developed from when we were in it. Do you know what I mean? It should be considerably better now than it was. Do you think that's the case? Do you think we've developed a sport in the country?
Not really. I think there are some fighters that are much better, but then they've found a person, or they've found a little groove that suits them where they can get good consistent training, and they've continually improved. I mean, there are always going to be those people. Everyone that was successful from our generation was successful in spite of what they were doing in the gym. Because we were just figuring it out as we went along. We literally were. And I think that there's some of that now. There's better facilities to get more sport-specific training, whereas we were like digesting traditional jiu-jitsu and trying to translate it ourselves. And
you were doing it all over the place. And there was no big gyms to watch. There was no Ultimate Fighters. There wasn't a massive abundance of MMA content. It was just, you got to maybe see a fight every month or so. Yeah. And you were trying to put it together. So like when places like TriStar came along, and like Jackson Wink and all these places, you'd think that there's almost like now, because there are gyms in the UK, but like you were saying, it's not above and beyond. Like the event at the weekend didn't really hold its own at all. It wasn't like you sat there from the TV anyway. I mean, I know you guys went at a wicked time from all of the fights, but if you were a casual fan, which most people are picking up Bellator because you don't have to pay for it in any way, and you might be a fight fan, like the fights that were on, MVP knocked out a terrified opponent.
He was terrified.
But he looked it. Yeah, he looked it the whole time.
He was a bit like that guy that pissed himself in Gladiator.
Yeah.
Before they opened the doors and they all went out and got smushed.
Yes.
He was that guy.
Pretty much that. But other than that, like the Fabian Edwards fight, like if you'd have seen a bit of the build-up, a little bit of the social, I was like, yo, this is going to be next fucking level.
Yeah.
I've got something to watch at least. I've got some fights. And then Terry,
I
unfortunately...
only caught the last round of that fight.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was...
The last round looked good. Fabian Edwards, I'm impressed with him, I think. And he's not even near his peak yet.
I'm usually way more impressed. If this had gone the other way, I wouldn't have been surprised, and he wouldn't have had anyone else to blame.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to him, because like I say, them up kicks that he had on the last time he was out were fucking crazy. For the guy to stand there long enough to be kicked in the head 3 times was death. But the fact that he pulled it out, and me and Mystery were talking about it earlier, you can tell there's a lot of similarities between him and his brother. And obviously they're both getting better and better, but it just, I don't know, I was just expecting a bit more because it was a bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
It was the 10-year anniversary of 105 in Manchester. Was that last week or the week before? Time's going very quickly at the minute. I'm not sure which week it was, but probably one of my favourite events I've ever been involved in
awesome,
at any level,
any
any sport.
takeover.
Took it over.
We had 4 fights, 4 wins.
Yeah.
That was a good night, wasn't it?
That's
10 years.
Some of them we weren't supposed to win. Nick wasn't supposed to beat Matt Riddle.
No. Andre put a snooker ball in a sock, didn't
he?
Yeah, who was that?
Rory. Was it Rory? Someone? I'll find it.
Go on. You got your laptop open.
Yeah, it was Andre.
I was so focused on my fight. Did Andre fought like Aaron Riley or Dennis Seaver?
Rory, he lost to Seaver. He fought Rory Delgado or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was like a snooker ball over and right, like clink, and he just sort of turned him off. He murdered him. And then he fought Seaver and lost because he got kicked in the stomach.
And then you ruined Mike Swick's career after that.
Poor Mike.
You ruined Mike Swick's career after that.
Ruin his career.
He got a new Facebook friend in your dad.
Huh?
Mike Swick.
You what?
Got a new Facebook friend in your dad, and that was about it.
Of course.
That's what you gave him.
My dad's Facebook friend.
That was a great
everybody.
night.
It was a great night. You can't talk into the mug. And how are these two sounding? Are they talking to Mike all right?
It's not me, is it?
I reckon we need to get Slim some noise cancellers because I think he can hear you guys outside of the headphones, and it sounds good to him, but in actuality, it's.
I just did try and talk into a coffee cup. So
you did.
Can't be going that way.
It's a branded coffee cup, though.
It's a skill talking into a microphone. Yeah, it really is.
You should know.
Terry Brage at the end of his. Anyway,
that was that. I think that was the best. That and getting to see Gareth A. Davis again on telly. That was a treat.
Yeah, I didn't watch the telly portion, so you know.
Yeah, there's nothing worse.
You not enjoy it, no?
It's a bit of a turn off when you walk in the bedroom and your missus is thinking she's doing you a favour by putting fighting on. I'm like, yes. First thing I see when I walk in is JD. I'm like, oh, it's not going to happen tonight, my darling. Unless you have got scaffolding and some blue pills. No.
Is that it? Did you ruin your game?
Put me off, man. Yeah, not a lot puts me off my game, to be fair, but
Gad does.
Gad kills.
I'll let him know that.
Guys, just tickle the balls. Fuck off.
So have you got 105 pulled up?
I am getting 105.
Oh, I thought you were doing that.
No, I'm not Jamie.
Who did Ross beat?
That's what I'm trying to remember. I got punched in the head a lot that night. I don't really.
Ross did. Hold on.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was 10 years ago.
It was.
I feel like a reasonable excuse. That's a decade ago.
That's exactly it. I was just about to say that, a decade. That's the first time. That's the first time a length of time has a name, isn't it? Like, I mean, past a year.
I was going to say a year, day.
Like, but they're like frequently used, you know, minute, hour, day, month, year.
We don't have half a decade here.
No, you don't.
Well, I mean, you never say it.
Half a hole.
Excuse me?
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Half a hole. It's what you say to people, isn't it? If it takes someone an hour to dig a hole, how long does it take them to dig half a hole? There's no such thing as half a hole, is there?
I've never heard that before in my life.
Got you.
There you go.
Have you pulled it up yet?
I'm getting there, mate. It's just Sherdog's changed UFC 105. Where are you? There you go. Couture versus Vera.
That was it.
That was boring. Right, hold on. So you had a word with Mike Swick.
I did.
Bisping had a word with Dennis Kang.
He did.
One of Bisping's best fights, in my opinion, because he'd just come back from being sparked. James Wilkes lost to Matt Brown. Ross Pearson and Aaron Riley.
Told you, Aaron Riley.
Marky
That
Goddard.
was a good fight.
John Hathaway, Paul Taylor. Terry Etim and Shannon Gugati. Nick Oshipchek against Matt Riddle. Ugh, Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
That makes me feel dirty.
Riddled.
saying
Yeah, I've seriously underestimated Nick. He got ragdolled.
that name. Yeah. Dennis Seaver against Paul Kelly.
Rolly
Gustafsson
Delgado.
was against Jared Haman and was the second fight on the card.
Is that right?
Fucking Jesus.
Did he stop him?
Yeah.
round?
Yeah, first round, 41 seconds. And then Andre Rolly Delgado. What did I say? Did I say Rolly Delgado?
You said something like that, I think.
Yeah.
We'll give you the credit for it.
Yeah, close.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
Where were you? Were you backstage with us then?
Yeah,
You were
Yeah.
wearing a Tokyo 5 t-shirt, yeah?
probably.
Smashing the tits off
We're on
it.
affliction.
An affliction one.
Full affliction.
Did I ever tell you about when I went on holiday last year in Bulgaria and that guy swam up to me and just started talking mad MMA to me?
Yeah.
What the I was literally sat. I'd never spoke to this guy in my life. Never been to Bulgaria before. And this guy, he was a big unit, and I didn't realise that he was wearing
Podcast
special
fan.
kid Crocs. He was like, he must have been, I don't know, 25, and he was with his parents. And he came swimming over. He was like, do you know what I think they should do? They should get rid of weight classes and just have like 10-minute fights. And I was like, they did that in the beginning. It was wank. It's moved on. He was like, yeah, but you know, if Bellator and Affliction and Strikeforce come together, I was like, what? Has someone bought you a VHS in like 2007 and you're not gone like to the modern day? And he just sat there and just rambled a load of fucking MMA shit at me and swam off. And Stacey's dad came over and was like, who the fuck was he? And how does he know that you into MMA? And I was like, fuck, only knows.
Were you in full reptile stuff?
I was wearing full, yeah.
How does he know?
Yeah, I'd look like full reptile had thrown up on me. I just
Yeah.
did. I had my fucking MMA gloves on at the pool.
As you do.
Fucking weirdo.
Keep your afloat. Keep your hands afloat.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
Just bright blue Pride gloves.
I always wanted to fight in Pride. I used to remember getting Lee used to download the events and put them on a disc for us, and I'd go home and I'd sit and watch it all the way through, and like the intro with the, you know, the drumming and the music,
And they all just stood there.
Yeah,
like a video
I used to
game.
love the fighter parade at the
it's
start
cool,
of the
man.
events, and they were just like imagine 90,000 people in an arena.
Unbelievable.
Like I was at the event where GSP fought Shields. I think it was GSP Shields.
Yeah, in
and
Canada.
Aldo against Hominick. And it was 50,000 people. And I remember standing. I was like 3 or 4 rows from the octagon. I remember standing and looking up, and it's, you know, when you get that perspective where it starts to feel like everything's towering over you. Yeah. Like at the Staples Center, the front row at the very top at the Staples Center, it feels like you're actually hanging over the ice. It's a weird perspective.
Like I've been sidelined with 50,000 people sort of watching teams that I've coached for, but I can only imagine when it's you, one other person in the cage, and 50,000 people watching you.
Yeah.
That's the next level.
5 people watching just fucking bad. You stood behind the school library, you shit your pants. You know, you fucking, there's a whole arena.
It's enough pressure.
All right. So we're going to have a fight.
Did you see the Deontay Wilder punch? I haven't seen the fight yet, but
Knocked the soul out of
it
him.
was unreal, wasn't it?
Incredible.
Mate, to knock that much sweat off someone in one punch,
Yeah.
that's fucking...
It was that's a special kind of power.
Jesus.
I've been watching Edwin Valera recently. He was a bit of a lunatic. He was a Venezuelan boxer. And I think he's still the only professional boxer to have knocked out every one of his opponents as a pro.
Wow.
He's like 28-0 with 28 knockouts. But he ended up, I think he murdered his wife and then hung himself in prison or something like that.
Venezuela, right?
I mean, proper lunatic. But his punching power was wicked. And there's loads of footage on YouTube of sparring footage of him. And he's like dinging people in the gym, and you can just like see their legs go. Like,
What's
hurting
Deontay's
people.
knockout to finish ratio?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's
not
like.
sure.
I'm sure it's like. Yeah, something like 40 out of 45 or something like that.
Jesus.
Incredible, yeah.
You got to feel sorry for the 2 that didn't get knocked out. Then
Yeah, we just beat him up for 12
You know what I
rounds.
mean? They got mushy peas. For
Tyson
brains.
Fury was one of them, wasn't he?
Do you think they'll go again?
Yeah, probably. Did you see
Why
Tyson
wouldn't-
Fury
why
with
wouldn't
Darren Till?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Big lad
elbows
can
and
move,
knees.
man.
I tell you what, if he comes crashing forward, you can't get away from him. But what's he weighing at though? That's the problem. Like, is he too heavy
He's
for
a
heavyweight?
big man, isn't he?
He's a big old shape.
Is he too heavy for heavyweight? Is he over 265?
What is 265?
Well, Brock got in there, so I'd like to think he
Yeah,
could.
but Brock had to cut. But there's a few people that have to cut.
I don't think he'd have a problem cutting. I think he'd be interested to test himself. I think he'd like to have a go just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, someone to find him a fight. He'll end up fighting on some crazy Polish show against some rapper that's got his eyeballs dyed or something.
Yeah.
Against the
You
world's
seen
strongest man
The
again.
world,
Yeah.
the fucking.
Did you see that video that was going around? That every single one of these ridiculous videos, I always think it's probably going to be Derek Lewis's account that I saw it on. It was two guys. They were having some kind of slapping contest.
Oh, mate.
Oh.
Did you see it? And
Yes.
one of the guys was like a power lifter. He was fucking huge.
His neck started.
He was-
I mean, he
he
got
was
slapped and he
ridiculous.
just went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like this cloud, just like this cloud of chalk dust. Just
Yeah.
it was like someone had blown a candle out next to him, and he's against
whacked the
this
other guy.
this
That's got
Weirdo
You've
emo
got to
kid
know that's a
with-
bad idea. You've got to know the amount of time I've seen it, and then
What was
there's
I
different
looking
ones
at?
where there's like big dudes and some little dude, and he's built like me, and he just goes winds up and just cracks him full bollocks, and the guy goes, nope.
You must have tried and failed at a lot of sports by the time you get to slapping each other as a sport.
I reckon it's just to win
Football,
like 20
nah,
chicken
no
wings or
good.
something.
Cricket,
It's gotta
nah,
be.
no good. I know. Slapping.
Let's play slaps.
Try that.
Did you ever play
slaps.
Did you play
We used to
slaps
play
like
slaps
that?
at school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Or knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did it with
What
cards.
was that about? Why were we doing that?
I don't know. We used to do card raps where basically you'd get a deck of cards
I
and
remember
you'd
that.
push a load out, and then you'd have to do like raps on someone's knuckles.
And you end up with like...
Just massive calluses down your down
It's
your
amazing we
knuckles.
made it this far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
thought
all the
the other day.
games we used to play at school were about fucking each other up, of trying not to fuck ourselves up to entertain everybody else.
Yeah, I did that a lot.
I literally, my memory of school is it was divided into 3 break times. So we'd have a lesson and then a short break, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then what?
That's where you get to tuck shop.
That was it. Then 2 lessons and lunchtime. Then a lesson and a short break, and then a lesson and school was ended.
Yeah. It's not
So
like that anymore, by the
It was
way.
like, is it not?
No.
Well, that's maybe a good thing, because this
Yeah.
was like a systematic daily routine of the first 20 minutes we'd pick football teams, then the first 10 or 15 minutes of lunchtime we'd play football until there was an argument that'd break out. Then we spent the next 30 minutes like trying to break it up and calm it down and get back to football. Then the last 20 minutes was at least 2 people having a fight against each other.
Yeah.
That was like at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I used to have a
pretty
bit
good
of a...
conditioning,
I had a
really.
side hustle run. I used to go to Morrison's in the morning and get 10 donuts for £1 and sell them for 30.
You had a side hustle.
30p each. Mate,
Did
I made
ya?
a fucking killing.
If you wrote a list of your side hustles, it would be ridiculous.
It'd be long.
Yeah,
It would
impressive.
be long.
It'd be long, and I should have had a lot more money than I've ever had. But yeah, we did Mr. Freezer's. My mum used to have a cash and carry card because she was she'd do catering for people. And on the odd time that I'd be able to go with her, I'd be like, get me 6 boxes of Mr. Freeze.
Nice.
Branded. None of that fucking council
Home
pop
brand.
shit.
No
yeah.
own brand.
So then we'd get like this bag. So for the first break in the day, as long as it was sunny, you could sell them all. If you got to dinner time, they'd gone to shit. But yeah, we used to sell ice poles out of a bag.
Entrepreneur.
Chomps.
Okay, we're good. So Tyson Fury, according to his Wikipedia page, which we know is frightfully accurate,
Yes.
because I'm 6'4" in Japan apparently. He's 117 kilos, which is
Oh yeah, so it defines what-
257.4 pounds. So he's within the heavyweight limit. He'd still probably have to cut.
Who'd you like to see him against? I know Stipe was on about having a word.
I'd like
you
to see him
imagine
against
that?
someone who won't kick him in the legs.
What, just to put
Yeah,
proper
that'd be
fire?
ugly. Tim Sylvia.
Dude, don't do that. You know when Tim Sylvia came out
Why
and
not?
it was the
No,
boxer?
okay, Tim Sylvia
James
from
Toney
like
knocked out Tim
19.
Sylvia, didn't he? In like,
Did he?
With one punch.
I don't know. I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
You know, one thing.
I'm sure he did.
One other thing
Double
that I
check.
think is worth observing from his Wikipedia page are the names of his spouse. His name's Paris Fury.
Oh, really?
That sounds like a movie.
Street Fighter character.
You know what I mean? A Street Fighter character. There you go. And then one of his children's called Venezuela Fury. Again, that's a
Interesting.
movie title, isn't it? That's
It's a strong name. Tim Sylvia
Yeah.
versus Ray Mercer.
he used to use the boxing ring at Liberties right before I used to train. Talking of the Mike Swick fight, that would have been 10 years ago. So for the training camp for that fight, I used to go to Liberty Gym on Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning to do pads, and Tyson Fury was in the ring using the space before I would train.
I'd like
Like
to.
every day I was there pretty much.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him in a cage. The thing is, I don't want to see someone like Randy Couture do a James Toney on him.
No, but he's
Because
got
that's
too
just
much of a
like
fighting
improving
instinct,
him.
I
Beat
think.
him up.
Yeah, that wasn't. That was just like, look what I can do. It wasn't a fight, was it?
I wouldn't even mind him fighting someone that would kick him in the legs, just someone that's not going to try and take him down.
But I think I think he could get into the training mindset quite quickly.
Give him the winner of Orlovsky Rosenstrike.
That'd be good.
That's what we were going to talk about today.
Go on. It was Ray Mercer, by the way, against Tim Sylvia. Knocked out one punch.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. Poor old Tim. Anyway, UFC London's been announced. Ooh. So we were gonna play fight speculation because I've got a couple of interesting ones that I've already. Well, one of them for sure, Nathaniel Wood against Chito Vera. So if you remember, Chito Vera was the last person to fight Brad Pickett and was losing to him until he won with head kick knockout. Nathaniel Wood wants to fight him now in London to kind of even it back up.
That's like a Karate Kid story, isn't it?
And I don't know whether they've spoken directly or spoken through someone, but they've connected and they've agreed. Like, so Chito would like that fight as well.
I really like Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Chito as well, though. You know,
didn't we see Chito in Vegas?
Probably. With like two buttons done up on his shirt.
Yeah. With a bandana on.
Of course.
Did he call you Essay?
Probably.
Okay.
He's awesome. I like Chito. But yeah, like, I mean, it's a difficult fight to watch, and I'll be on the mic as well, so it'll be difficult to call it because they're both good fighters, and it's, you know, one of them you don't want to see either lose, you know. As long as they both have a good fight and they're healthy. That's where I'm at with it. That's my stance when on one of those fights. As long as they have a good performance and they're healthy at the end of it. That's a good fight.
We've got to see Darren on the London card, haven't we?
I would think so. And I think the fight that makes most sense would be Whittaker.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good fight. It'd be a good main event, a solid main event. Stop people complaining about the London cards because they always seem to.
That'd be a great main event. That'd be a good fight.
My only concern is that there's a show in New Zealand at the start of the year, like February, and because they might put it on that because Whittaker's former champ.
Yeah,
he might get a bit more of a say as to the location, but you know, I think that would be a great fight. And UFC
Darren
London's
Edwards on it.
The dentist.
Yeah, is he going to be on it?
Darren Stewart. Yeah, you mix it. Bobby Brown.
I said Bobby Brown the other week.
He said Bobby Brown last week.
Oh, well, there you go.
Instead of Bobby
Green.
Company. Got the one. Yeah. Anyway, so Darren Stewart will be on it for sure. I would think so.
So what about Leon Roberts? Leon Edwards. Leon Roberts.
Leon Roberts.
This is all mix up of
you just
names.
Me out, yeah.
Leon Edwards. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, if you've got if it's Till against Whittaker, then that'd be an ideal co-main event.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you get Leon against. I don't know who there is that's kind of floating around that'd be worth him fighting. I mean, Luque's just lost to Wonder Boy. I could see Edwards against Wonder Boy.
That'd be a good fight.
That could work. Ponzinibbio needs to come back and have another fight, but he's still in the mix.
Is he injured at the minute?
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's been a while since didn't he get staph again, I think.
Yeah, his leg nearly fell off, didn't it?
I think he's had staph twice. He's been taking down a lot of the fighters that have been in Thailand as well, training.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where we've seen some of the fighters coming through and fighting with staph.
You always know it's going to be good when it says on Instagram, like, click to uncover this picture. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm cautious. I always see who's posted it. Because if it's something where a fucking animal's been mangled, I don't need to see that. Because that scorches itself into my subconscious, and then I can't get it out.
Kids and animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't do that.
Yeah. So we're fight speculating. So yeah, Till Whittaker I think is a good shout. Leon against I don't know. I'd like to see him fight Wonder Boy, but that's just selfish because I think it'd be an interesting fight.
Gunny Nelson's normally on the UK UFC London, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's coming off a loss though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's another fighter that could do with that weight class in between, the 162 class, because he's just not quite big enough to compete with the big guys at welterweight.
Yeah. I
mean, I know he's been doing a lot of strength and conditioning, but I just don't think physiologically it's like Felder, like Paul Felder. You know, not quite big enough for welterweight, but he's got the muscle mass of a welterweight.
It just makes a massive difference fighting where you're supposed to fight, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
All that energy going into the cut instead of going into getting right and getting ready for the fight.
And the other fight I thought, and this was from Friday night on Cage Warriors, Mads Burnell needs re-signing to the UFC. He was just amazing at the weekend.
Yeah.
He was I mean, his footwork, his pressure, his head movement, like he's got that James Toney style where he's able to get inside people's reach when they're throwing a lot of punches and not really take much damage, and then hit them with heavy shots. And then, you know, they shoot because they're under pressure, or he backs them up against the fence and shoots and takes them down. And he's got a wicked neck attack game. I'd like to see him get re-signed. And after watching him fight on Friday night, I thought to myself, Makwan Amir Khan would be a really good fight for him.
Yeah.
Because then you've got two guys. So Makwan did a lot of boxing training ahead of his fight against Chris, I think. So he's been improving his boxing. I think he's had a few boxing matches as well to work on his hands, and he's got a good neck attack game. And you know, there's a bit of a European rivalry, you know, bragging rights and all that. They're the kind of fights that I like, where there's a bit of something on the line.
Who else is floating around that's unsigned? You think should be signed up? You think of anyone off the top of your head? Sort of Europe, UK based?
No, I mean, there's a couple. Like Ross Houston's a good shout. He's Cage Warriors champ ever since Dalby got signed, and that was a really tough fight. And then we saw what Dalby did in his fight back in the UFC. So I wouldn't be against Ross Houston getting signed. I think the UFC will probably wait for him to get 1 or 2 more wins, especially if he defends the Cage Warriors title. They'll sign him. But I could see him stepping in there against some of the mid tier guys, like him against like a Mickey Gall would be a good fight. You know, someone that would test him, someone that's, you know, beginning of their career kind of thing.
Mickey Gall's fighting Carlos Condit next.
Yeah, Condit's pulled out though, hasn't he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Condit's injured, I think.
Oh shit!
I'm sure he is. I'm sure I read that somewhere.
He's still on here at the minute, but yeah.
I look over at the Raptors. It's like they run an MMA news site now, and then I think to myself, nah, they don't know. They won't know. they only report news when they're actually in the room.
Yeah, with them.
That's
yeah.
That's all right. I think that's what I read anyway. So any other fights that you put on the card? Who else needs to be on the card? UK wise.
See, we were talking about it earlier, and I know this is just a dream matchup. It's not necessarily what's happening. I want to see MVP over in the UFC, just to see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to see...
That's not going to happen, though, is it? He's hot property for Bellator.
He is, but for all the wrong reasons. Whereas I think he could really justify, like, his stance. Because I think he's good, but I don't think he's testing himself against the best guys. And I think...
But then he's only at the start of his career, though, isn't it? I mean, there is a tendency to rush people when they're as talented as he is.
I think it's because it's exciting, because you know there's going to be a decent fight. You know there's going to be fireworks. It's like Mystery said. He sat there and literally thought, I wonder how he's going to knock him out. And then he did. Yeah. And that's sort of what you're waiting for most of the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something
Jack
explosive.
Shaw, he needs to be on the London card.
That'd be good.
They've got a new setup. We need to go and visit their gym, don't we? It looks awesome.
The Shaws?
Yeah. See, that's one of those circumstances where there's like a fortuitous meeting of circumstances where you've got, you know, a talented kid who loves MMA, whose dad happens to be a black belt, who runs his own gym, and then that's attracted a whole bunch of people to them that are around the same weight class, that are all interested in doing the same thing. It's like, you know, it's the same with Roughhouse. That could have quite easily not have happened at all.
Yeah.
But it just happened to, because we all came together at the same time. And I think that's always going to happen.
Where are they based?
They're down in Wales.
Wales.
Right.
They're down just outside of Newport, is it?
It's near Cardiff.
Near Cardiff.
Abergavenny.
Abbott what?
In the valley.
Abertillery.
Abertillery.
Nice.
Although I prefer mysteries, what? Abertillery, yeah, Abertillery.
Say it
Random
again.
consonants.
You have to say slower and bounce to the letters, innit?
Yeah, they don't mind a fight down there, do they?
Oh, they like the fight, they do. It's cracking.
Yeah, nice. So he's got a good little hub going on,
Yeah,
isn't
he has. It's a real good setup where he's just, you know, same place every day, consistent training.
Yeah.
And he's working with, I'm not sure whether you remember him, Gary Lockett. He was a boxer from like I would say probably the late 90s. I remember watching a few of his fights. The Pocket Rocket, I think his nickname was.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah, it is. But he's down there and he's working on his hands, and I see him in his corner regularly as well. So there's, you know, he must.
Have you seen
he
a
must
clip
be.
of Tyson now throwing some just shadow boxing with? I can't remember who it was
Yeah,
with.
was it an MMA guy?
Absolutely
And he just
terrifying. Still,
just danced
how
around
old is
him.
Tyson now?
Oh, I don't know.
60.
65.
What are we
It was
saying?
terrifying.
What are you saying? How old?
65.
You reckon?
Is he 65?
I reckon he is.
Michael Tyson. 62.
That's someone entirely different's going to come up if you search Michael Tyson.
No.
58, you reckon?
I'd say late 50s, yeah.
So hang on. 58, 62,
Come
59.
on, boys.
59. You're not guessing.
I know
'cause you're
exactly
lucky.
how old he is.
I'm saying 65.
53.
Oh shit. Oh,
Yeah, tough paper, isn't he?
Is he really?
Yeah.
I thought
Mate,
he
he's
was
gonna
older
beat
than
you.
that. Why did I think he was older than
Fuck
that?
only knows. Well, he was heavyweight champ by 18, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know why.
In fact, I probably sent it to you, didn't I? I said, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at how he
'cause you
moves.
showed me.
Yeah, he moves very well.
Yeah,
Mate,
amazing.
Scary. Well, I saw Julio Cesar Chavez was doing like a charity boxing match the other day. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah.
Like he was a badass. I have notes scribbled in pencil on the wall of my gym that I've been jumping rope and I've been watching one of his fights and something's happened. I've been like, I need to make a note of that. There's nothing around. I've like scratched it into the wall with like with a set of keys or something. I do that shit all the time.
It is good though, yeah. I like the inside of the brain of a maniac there.
Inside the
You can just take pictures.
The inner workings.
That was a good day. I'll turn that into a t-shirt. One punch changes fight. Click.
Yeah,
Done.
there's nonsense. My iPad's just as bad. We used one of the screenshots of the iPad for a war room, didn't we, at one point? No one can understand what
Scribbles.
it says. It's just hieroglyphics, pretty much.
That's what you want.
None of it makes sense in isolation, but if you stand back, it all makes perfect.
All makes perfect sense.
scripture.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Fight
it.
scripture.
That national treasure.
If you stand back far enough, it forms a picture of Yoda.
Dude.
Oh, you were talking about Mandalorian
Have
earlier.
you
I haven't
not
watched it.
You've
no.
watched The Mandalorian. You've seen it, haven't you? It's badass. It is John Wick in space.
Is it?
Yeah, or it's like Home Alone.
Space Wick.
Home Alone adults. It's just fucking people up. It doesn't give a shit. And honestly, I watched it the other day while I was working, and it's definitely worth a watch. For saying Star Wars, they've fucked quite a lot of Star
Where did
Wars
you
up
watch it? How did you watch it?
At home.
Did you? Yeah.
Legally on Disney Plus.
Ah, okay.
What are you trying to do? You trying to fuck me over? or
No,
what?
I'm just wondering.
Trying to get me sent
Just
out.
wondering. I'm only Netflix. I'm Netflix and Amazon Prime. That's me.
Yeah, I'm not getting Disney Plus.
Well, I
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I watched it legally, but it was good. It's worth a watch. It's definitely.
They
worth
came
a
to your
watch.
house and acted it out in front on the carpet
Yeah.
in front of you, didn't
I told you about my Star Wars story before, haven't I? My mum used to run a theatre group, and Dawn used to make the costumes for Star Wars. So when I can remember coming downstairs into the kitchen, and Dawn was literally making Anakin Skywalker's cloak for Episode 1, and I'd have been about his size, maybe a bit taller. And then she was like making his rat's tail and stuff. So like whenever we used to go anywhere, they used to go to fancy dress, and they'd have the proper stormtrooper outfits and stuff. Everyone else is like a shit mouse or a pirate or something wank, and they're wearing like a legit original Star Wars stormtrooper outfit.
Badass.
What did you guys? Shit mouse again, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm a fucking mouse, because that's what my mum had.
Again.
My mum once painted me as a kid. She painted me green and ripped a pair of trousers, and I was the Incredible Hulk.
Nice.
Poster
That's
paint.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Did you
it's
see
alright.
what's his name on the Brazil card? Paint his face like the Joker.
Did he?
Marcus Perez.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
It was good.
it was a good job.
Really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, who was it that used to always do the Hulk Hogan walkouts and stuff? What's his name? Can you remember?
Oh, Tom Lawler.
Tom Lawler.
Yeah, Filthy Tom
used to
Lawler.
come
He
out,
had some good ones.
and he
And then-
came out as that Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but Iwan Kutalaba, he used to paint himself, didn't he? He's the
Yeah.
Hulk. He used to paint himself green.
Yeah.
There's no way you get all of that off though before the fight.
Imagine.
I did. I was it was Halloween one year, and it was like an outdoor garden party, and I thought I'm gonna really fuck with some people here. So I did one of those. Is it Underworld where they've got the lichen?
Yeah.
And they're like a dark kind of blue-black colour.
Yeah.
I painted my whole self blue-black, shaved my head, like everything. I wore black jeans, and all I had were the Wolf contact lenses. So they were red around the outside and yellow on the inside. So, and I could just disappear into the garden, and people wouldn't be able to see me.
And he would.
I just show
He
up.
would. He'd be like, I'm just going to use the outside toilet.
Time out. Enough people.
Just having a piss in the rose bed, and then you're just stood there, these fucking yellow eyes. You're like, oh god, oh, I'm mad pissed.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I could not get that shit out of my ears because I went to town. I mean, I wanted to, I was going authentic. I got everywhere.
I once did face paint on my brother because he bought the liquid latex. Remember when that first came out? And what you meant to do is you meant to put like a base coat of Vaseline or like white powder on your face. And I didn't. And I'd not been going out with Stacey for long. And I was meant to be meeting her at my mate's house. So I got home and he was like, will you do my face for this party? I was like, fucking hell yeah, come here. Slapped all this fucking liquid latex on his face, put a load of Rice Krispies in it so they look like scabs. And that was it. He looked amazing. What I didn't realise was the 3 hours it took for him to try and get it off when he got in. He was only about 9. Took his eyebrows off, took his sideburns off, everything. I got in and my mum went fucking postal. Like, did you put that stuff on Will's face? I was like, maybe. And yeah, he came downstairs and he looked like a burns victim.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I wasn't allowed to do fucking fancy dress for that. And then the only other time I ever got into a bit of trouble was when my mate dressed up as the Crow. And we went.
Film.
I've done that. I've dressed up as
Yeah,
well.
we went to Golden Gaines in Derby and got BB guns.
You went to where?
It's called Golden Gaines. It was like it used to sell Scare Electric, remote control cars, BB guns.
Golden Gaines.
It was amazing. It was really good. It's
Sounds
gone
like
now.
like,
It's
like a tanning bed that's covered as like a steroid dealer.
That's probably what they were. Yeah, with the front
You know
of
what I
BB
mean?
guns.
Like a tanning salon where you can go and get your weekly injection.
Well, some people know where it was. But I got that, and me and this lad Pete went round Little Eaton, knocking on people's doors that we knew, and if they didn't answer, then we'd shoot them with these BB guns. And then and then while we were out, his mum found out and called the police on us. What the fuck? So yeah, I kind of got arrested one Halloween. With my mate dressed as the Crow. Well, because he was dressed as the Crow and I wasn't, he looked way more suspect than me. I just looked like a little brother that had been taken along for the ride.
I'd have said you look more suspect.
Oh no, I didn't have a beard at the time.
But even so.
No tattoos, no beard.
But you've not made an effort to dress up. At least you could go, well, I'm trick-or-treating.
Yeah, I can just say bigger boys came.
Bigger
boys came and made me do it. I had all the ammo in my pockets. That was it. His mum took him home and beat the shit out of him.
Anyway,
life.
so anything else you want to talk about? Are you good?
What else have I got?
There's no MMA this week, so it's like, what are we
Where are you
doing?
Where are you off to next? What's
Vegas.
going on? Vegas.
Oh well, no, we've got Polaris this weekend. We've got
Where is Polaris?
Newport.
Polaris and
Chasing Status.
Ooh,
Retreat.
best
Soundboy
album
Sound.
I've
It's
listened to
amazing,
for a
right?
long
It's
time,
amazing.
especially for shadowboxing too.
Oh,
Especially for training too.
it's very special.
Loving it.
See, my office is on a golf course with a lot
Serene.
of very well-to-do poncy white boys. So when I've got
Busting out weed and rum is not.
when I've got that playing out of my shed, retreat. These boys just walking past with their trolleys like, I beg your pardon, you say retreat? One shall never retreat. Not in my FootJoy polo shirt.
Yeah.
There's some fucking money in golf.
is it really?
Jeebus. Man. Are you squeaking dog toys?
Is that a raptor mating call?
I didn't sound effect.
Sorry, yeah.
Money in golf, yeah.
Oh, man. Honestly.
Was it not Winston Churchill that said golf's a good way of running a walk in the countryside?
Yeah, it fucking is.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So where's the
golf.
Chasing Status
Didn't want-
concert?
It's in London, isn't it? So we've got a belt over from Wales to London.
Sponsored by Rigor.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Rigor
yes.
will take
We'll
full
drive
flight.
fully sensibly all the way over to London.
Yeah, 70 miles an hour.
Didn't you play golf? Aren't you a golfer? Mystery, of course you are, you fucking weirdo. He only plays golf because the attire.
It is.
So he can dress like
Let him
fucking
play, just
Rupert the
walk
Bear
around.
and have an excuse.
Just mooching about and he's checking
Yeah.
trousers 3/4 down to
exactly
down
what
to
it
the
is.
knee with
I'm
socks
like-
all the way up.
He showed up the other week. I'm like, the fuck have you come as a jockey? He's got these long socks on and these like tweed trousers. I don't know. It was
About
a
a
while
year
ago.
ago.
You were just missing a shotgun and a whippet.
And you had that hat on, that silk baseball cap.
You need a fez. That's what you need. We need to get you a fez.
Fez!
Fuck.
Or a pith helmet. We could get him an elephant that he rides in on. Rashid. No. I don't know. I wasn't allowed on the buggies. That was it. I went there and I was like, my mate says, do you want to play golf? I was like, not really, but can we drive the buggies? He was like, yeah, of course you can. So literally just as I got in the buggy, the owner of the golf course came around the corner and was like, is that Owen? So I was like, yeah. He's like, no, get out.
Well, one of the Welsh national rugby players got on the piss, stole a golf cart and drove it down the M4.
Really though, innit?
That's brilliant.
I can't remember his name, but,
But you know
it's
when
a
you
great
think
story.
things are fast? You know in their own environment, like a golf buggy's fast. But you know when you're like, oh, fucking zipping around the fucking fairway or wherever you are. When you're on the M4, it's not fast.
No,
It's
it's
like,
not fast, no.
fucking hell. It's like when you get a moped for the first time.
I think he got full on arrested for it.
Oh, dude.
That's brilliant.
Full on arrested.
Yeah, not like a caution. It was like
Yeah, not like, do you know who
give him
I
some
am?
shit. Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, you go full jackass. Things always feel faster when you're in an enclosed environment. Because I had mopeds, and I can remember one year I had a job at Thornton's, and it was in the evenings. I used to come down the A38, go through Little Eaton, and I had a puncture on my bike, and it was a FS125 Yamaha. It was an old ship nail, and basically the puncture was on the front, so I pumped it up before I went home, and halfway getting home it started to go down again. I was like, oh shit. And I looked down, and if you look directly down when you're doing about 25-30, it looks like you're walking. If you look ahead, it looks dead fast. If you look down, or if you look ahead, it looks like you're walking. If you look down, it looks fast. So I just looked ahead and I was like, I can jump off this. And because I was riding it side saddle because I had a puncture, I jumped off the bike.
Because you're wearing a dress.
Yeah. Because I'm a lady and I do ladies' things. And I jumped off, and my legs went like Beavis and Butthead when he jumps out the back of the car. Honestly, man, I've never shit myself so much. It was fucking horrible. Don't jump off a motorbike.
You know, Forrest Griffin. He had an old Scion that he won when he won the Ultimate Fighter, which he drove for like 250,000 miles or something. One of his tires got a puncture, so he put the puncture repair kit over the tire, over the nail.
What?
Just left the nail in the tire and just put the puncture repair kit over it.
I wonder how many times Forrest should have died.
Oh, like more than a cat. He's got more lives than a cat for sure. Like, he's got a kink in his arm where it was broken and he never got it fixed.
That's from like before that's the fight before he got into the Ultimate Fighter.
He should do like an injury trade-off with Jackie Chan. Do you remember at the end of Jackie Chan movies where they used to go through all like the accidents that
Rumble
he had?
in the Bronx when he's jumping from like one thing through a fire escape, and he's got a cast and the sock is a printed. It looked like a shoe.
Yes, yeah. They put a sock over the cast and sprayed it black, didn't they? So it looked like
made it look like a trainer.
Yeah.
Don't play with it in cars.
Madness.
Fucking brilliant. Bit of Jackie Chan.
Cool.
Steve-O got his care package.
Oh, he did.
Steve-O loved his care package.
Loved it. It started a conversation in my house whether we should show my 8-year-old Jackass yet.
Of course you should.
I feel like he would very much
one,
enjoy
2 or
it.
3?
They haven't seen any of it. I'm keeping it secret.
Maybe I shouldn't have shown my 7-year-old and 11-year-old.
I mean, their lives are basically Jackass, just slightly toned down, so maybe I should show it to them. I'm just worried they'll get more ideas.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then when you look at some of it now, it's just how Johnny Knoxville isn't dead.
No idea. No idea.
He always had this obsession with smashing things into his nuts, and I'm checked out there. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not feeling people kicking in the din.
Take them out of the fucking pocket at the pool table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's horrific.
Get him in a photo with Gareth A. Davis.
Yeah. But then those Welsh lads were worse.
Oh,
Dirty Sanchez, they were way worse.
God. Pancho.
Like, they were fucking
what was
nuts.
Pancho?
Yeah, something like that.
Dayton.
There were 2 in particular that stuck out to me. Because it was like they did the Jackass stuff without all the like the fanciness and the build up. They were just like, nail, poof,
staple the finger to the floor.
Yeah. They were a bit more like Vivian off the Young Ones. Always my favourite character. Do you remember Vivian? It was brilliant. Aid Edmondson. But there was one where they had a bunch of drawing pins, a bunch of thumbtacks worldwide. For a bunch of drawing pins like sticking up on the table, and he put his forehead above them, and then his mate smacked his head into them, and they had to use pliers to pull one of them out. And the other one was where all 3 of them stripped off and rolled down a hill full of nettles. Yeah, they rolled down it, and then they stood there, and they're holding their cock and they're whipping their balls with nettles. I'm like.
But we watched it.
This is the thing. This is the thing. I'm sitting there going, why am I watching this?
Yes. Well, it used to be something like Jackass, Bo Selector, and then like Dirty Sanchez or something. You'd be like,
David.
Fucking get in Eurotrash.
You know, like when you say to kids, listen, if you can do anything in this life, you can do anything. Those boys really took that and ran with it. Like, what? We can do anything? What about this?
The money they made off that, though.
Million.
Like when Bam Margera cut a sunroof into his Lambo. He had like a purple Lamborghini. He set out a whole skate park in his living room, beat the shit out of his dad, and then cut the roof off his fucking Lambo. And you're like, you shouldn't have money.
That was when like MTV was important. Like important things went on MTV, didn't it?
But like Netflix has smashed it now because literally the whole series of something else in one go, and you sit there and you watch the whole thing. And you go, all right, I've ingested that. Whereas before it was like Tuesday, I don't know, London Burning's on, and so you'd be in and you'd watch London's Burning because it's Tuesday. You'd know what's happening though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could tell by what day.
Can't
it
live
was.
like that.
You used to though.
Can't do it.
Telly Addicts was on a Wednesday.
The last was Game of Thrones when I lived in the US. That was the last time I was stuck in a series. I can't do it now.
I have to be careful what I commit to. Just time-wise, I can't get into something if I don't feel like I'll finish it.
Right.
Yeah, see, I'm addicted to COD at the minute. I can't stop playing that stupid game.
COD, it's lovely fish.
It is very
battered,
nice fish.
bit of salt and vinegar.
Yeah, all the salt and vinegar and all the bullets.
Talking of fish and chips, a bit of chippy open now.
Half a portion of chips.
Yeah, just half.
Half portion of chip. You could bury a human being. From this chippy in the village, a half portion of chips, you could bury a human being in it.
That is
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is like a perfect harvest festival, isn't it?
It's like they've got to
never ate fish and chips and felt good about myself at the end.
Have you not?
Never. I'm like,
I don't know.
Well, that's why you got a Moochie settee and nice socks to sit.
That's it. That's exactly it. You can eat anything and not feel guilty about it on that sofa. That's what I'm learning about it.
Beautiful sofa.
It is, right?
Beautiful
I bought it
sofa.
specifically for the set, as well as this one. We went to the auctions and bought this one. It was quite a fun day out. I took the Raptors, and I had to keep reminding them not to wave their arms around, or they'll buy some shit that they don't want.
They come home with 3 ducks and a fucking banjo.
Yeah. We're like standing there, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, there's like a beautiful piece of furniture, and there's like you know.
Have you seen this?
Yeah,
this one.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, but for no reason at all. Mystery's just like.
What are you doing?
Stretching.
I'm expressing
Put your
myself.
fucking arm down.
It's free
Put your
country.
fucking arm down. The toilet's over there. Stop it.
I'm having a poo. Stop it.
Yeah, but it was fun, and then we managed to get this in the back of Rygor the Dragon.
I thought that was
That was a good
Post
picture.
the photo
worth it
on
for the
the-
photo.
Yeah, it was excellent. I do love this though.
I do like people's reaction when they walk in and see the set.
Yeah, it is a little weird. I've got Fabricio Verdun's blood all over the wall.
Yeah, blood-stained canvas. It's very fitting.
Fitting. I'm not sure that's a compliment.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Inside the mind of a psychopath. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not. It's nothing. It's a set. It's a set.
That
That's what it is.
plant had a big part to play in the set last week.
It
didn't
did.
it?
People were talking about
What a
it.
motherfucker.
Have I moved this sofa then? How did that work? Because that was behind my head, wasn't it?
You might have been sat a bit closer.
It was a mohawk.
I don't know. You were lying down because we were talking about shag bands and getting zips caught in your teeth.
Oh, that was right. I was lying down, wasn't
And I'm not going to get into getting.
You remember shag bands, don't you?
No, I don't.
Come on.
Yeah, the
of
little
course
gasket,
you do.
little black things that people used to we wear around your wrist. Like
They
a
weren't black.
friendship
No, there were
bracelet.
loads and loads
Yeah.
of different colours. People used to wear them all at their wrists.
They probably didn't tell you they were called shag
No,
bands.
they didn't.
There's a reason for people not telling you that. Did
Yeah, right. Maybe I just had no friends. And
Yeah, do you want a friendship bracelet?
Friendship bracelet.
No, you got the bracelet. You just do it on the shag. and
Yeah, that's
are
about
terrifying.
right. That's also about right.
Yeah.
But you did have hair back in the day, so that would have been.
Yeah, I
you
know,
wouldn't have seen
yeah.
the ears as
It's
much.
long
would you?
gone. It's long gone.
I love seeing the
Now.
pictures of back in when I would look for a picture of Dan or something for the website, and on the railings there's you with that curtain.
Full head of
Tokyo
beautiful-
5 flares,
beautiful-
a big mop of hair.
the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that's from wrestling, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
What, lose my hair?
Yeah.
No, it's just age and genetics, I think.
You've got
Unfortunately.
a shit headboard at home.
Yeah.
It's from Jimmy ironing your head into the canvas, right?
Fucking hell. I've got a lot of problems from Jimmy wrestling, but my hair loss is not one of them. Neck, shoulder, and knees. Probably it's 3 of them.
If any of them are Daddy Bad Touch, you can tell us. You know.
Yeah.
No, you can't. I don't want to know at this point.
No, I don't want to
Too
confront
late.
Jimmy over it. Did you wear that Luchador Max, Jimmy?
It's a good mask, isn't it?
Don't
Yeah, the
put it
Cow
on again.
podcast came out. He's got his fight coming up against James Gallagher.
Yeah,
It's
did
gonna-
you see all
it's
the
gonna be
shit
good.
that was kicking off with James Gallagher
It's
and
cool, isn't it?
someone?
And
Who was the
someone-
person that was kicking off against?
I don't know.
It's American fighter.
I saw
isn't it?
Paddy Pimlet's opponent causing problems after
Yeah.
coming in nearly eight pounds overweight.
Ooh.
Paddy was fuming before it even happened
Yeah.
because he was in. I can remember getting up on Saturday morning and check my Instagram as you do, and he was like, "I'm in the gym, I'm doing the miles," and then the next minute it was called off and it was all gone to
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, he felt like he didn't, and he tried, didn't he? That's what he was getting at. He,
Yeah.
he
That's
knew
what
what he was doing.
yeah,
He
'cause
didn't
he
even
was
bother
saying-
trying to cut weight.
He said that he went straight for something to eat,
Yeah,
which
right.
if you dehydrated,
Yeah, he didn't try and make the weight again. He weighed in and then just went straight to get some.
food, he was
Get
like,
some
nah,
food.
some snap.
Yeah,
Nando's.
that's no good.
You can't do that, can you?
No, Nando's. I've eaten too much Nando's after weigh-ins before.
I've had a Nando's with you and Sean Yarborough. It was a terrifying
Anyway.
dude.
All good?
Yeah, perfect.
All good.
Happy days. Thanks
Good
for
to
joining
catch
us this
up.
week, Ollie.
Nice to see
Been a
you.
pleasure.
Owen, as always.
Thank you, dude.
Raptors, thank you very much. See you next time.